Hey, what's going on, everybody? Evan here with Malevolent Gaming. Thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to give you an updated deck profile on Fluffals. So we've done a couple of deck profiles on them in the past, and with the new Master Rule revision, I figured it's only best that that I give you guys what I've been working on for the last few weeks. Few cards that I haven't seen anybody playing yet. I'm really excited to show them to you guys. Let's just get into it. All right, guys, so starting off with the deck, we have got 3 Fluffal Dog. Searcher of the deck, when he's normal or special summoned from the hand, you can search any Fluffal or Edgem Sabers. Pretty good card. Then I've got 2 Penguin. So when he's on the field, you can special summon a Fluffal monster from your hand. And that one is not a hard once per turn. But the part that is a hard once per turn is when he's used as a fusion material for a Frightful monster. You can draw 2 and discard 1. So this can really help fix a lot of your, crappy hands. Because one of the problems this deck does have is, unfortunately, it can be pretty inconsistent at times. This can really help fix that at times, or at least when you need it. And then I play 2 Bear and 2 Wings. So I know a lot of people play 3 and 3, and I understand why. You want to get the Wings combo, as quickly as possible and as often as possible. I don't know whether it's because I've played the deck for so long or what it is, but I never really have a problem getting to either of these when I need to. So for those that don't know, Bear, you can discard it from your hand, and you can set a toy vendor directly from the deck to the field. He has a second effect that doesn't come up too often, but if he's on the field, you can tribute him and add a poly from your grave back to your hand. And then Wings, its effect is engrave. When you control a face-up toy vendor, you can banish this, target another Fluffal, and banish it as well. If you do that, you draw a card, and then you pop toy vendor and draw 1 more card. So you draw 2 from that, and then when toy vendor goes to grave, you get to search any Fluffal or Edgem Sabers. So that's pretty good as well. Very good combo in the deck. And then I'm playing 1 Sheep. So I keep going back and forth between 1 and 2. I think, in all honesty, as I'm recording this, I think 2 is probably the best option. This is such a strong extender. I mean, if you control a Fluffal monster, you can special summon this from your hand, except itself, of course. And then you can bounce a Fluffal from your field to your hand, and then special an Edgem from your hand or your graveyard to the field. Yeah, this card is just ridiculously good right now. It's such a good extender. I honestly, now that I'm just recording this, like I said, I would even say just bump this up to 2 because it's really, really good. And then a couple 1-ofs, 1 owl, 1 cat. So when this is normal or special from the hand, you can search a poly. Or if you don't want to do that, it has a second effect. You can pay 500 and then act as a poly. And then we've got cat. When it's used as a fusion material and sent to grave, you can add a poly from your graveyard back to hand. Both pretty solid cards. And then I've got 3 chain. So the main effect that it's used for, when it's sent from hand or field to graveyard, you can add a Frightful card from deck to hand. The less commonly used effect is when he declares an attack, you can add a copy of himself from deck to hand. But that one really doesn't come up very often unless you're in a really weird spot. And then 1 Edgem Sabers, he's a plague spreader. You don't really want to see him. I mean, you don't want to open with it, you just want to see it when you have to search it. And then I'm actually just running 2 Nibiru right now. This was something that I kept going back between 2 and 3. I mean, pretty much everyone just plays 3. But regarding deck space and just trying to, keep it down to 40 for consistency, I've just been playing 2 lately. I mean, it's worked out okay. And so yeah, there's that. There's 2 of that, and then one Dragon Buster. I mean, pretty much everyone's playing this right now, so pretty standard. I mean, locking your opponent out of the extra deck is pretty good right now. So that's it for the monsters. Then for the spells, we've got 3 toy vendor. Really good cards. So once per turn, you discard a card, draw a card, and reveal it. If it's a Fluffal monster, you can special summon anything from your hand, not just Fluffals. Otherwise, it goes to graveyard. And then when this is sent to the graveyard, you can search any Fluffal or Edgem Sabers monster. So search is the same things as dog, but this one is not once per turn. And then 3 Foolish Goods to send the toy vendor. Like I said earlier, you're going to have a lot of inconsistent hands, unfortunately, with this deck. It's just the way it goes for now until we get, that support down the road, which should help out. But yeah, for now, I mean, this is obviously great. You just send a toy vendor, search whatever you want, fix those bad hands. And then we've got 3 Patchwork. You add an Edge Up monster and a Polymerization from your deck to your hand. a lot of people are going to see the +1 and they're just going to ash this. If they don't ash this, most of the time that this resolves, you're going to win the game. But this isn't exactly something that you mind getting ashed when you look at all of the other searches and draws that you have in the deck. Then 3 Polymerization, pretty standard. It's a fusion deck. 3 Called by the Grave. Droll absolutely kills this deck. And then if the player knows, how the deck works, a well-timed hand trap can, hurt the deck too. This just stops that, obviously. 2 Super Poly. This is another card I was playing at 3 for a long time, but I cut it down to 2. I just don't think it's I don't think it's as broken as it was, in the past. It's still a very, very strong card, but I don't think as many decks leave themselves open to be super polyed, or at least not as many, of the better players leave themselves open to being super polyed. 1 Instant Fusion, it's at 1 for a reason. Pretty self-explanatory. 1 Fright for Fusion. I've seen a lot of people that bump this up to 2. Personally, I don't like it at 2. Just for the same reason that I've always wanted at 1. You never ever want to open with this card. I mean, obviously with the Predator Plant link now around, you can do more shenanigans with this, but I just, with such an inconsistent deck, in my opinion, you never want to bump something up to a higher number than it needs to be. And then the last 2 cards of the deck, I'm playing 2 Ultra Poly. So I love this card, and some of the testing I was doing with Sheep at 2 made me love this card even more. So I'll say it again, I would bump up Sheep to 2. But this card is just incredible. So you pay 2,000 life points, and then you fusion summon a monster using 2 monsters that you control. So, you might be thinking to yourself, that card, that card sucks, that's it. But it has a grave effect. You can banish this and target 1 fusion monster that you fusion summoned using this card's effect. And you special summon its materials from graveyard. None of this is once per turn, by the way, but I really like this card just because it brings you back extra monsters that you can use for link fodder or extra fusion fodder, and just this has won me so many games. It's caught so many people off guard. The fact that they can't activate cards or response cards in response to this activation. This card is just incredible. If you have not considered playing this, if you haven't seen this, I would definitely give this a shot. Like I said, I could go on and on about this card, but I really like this card, and with the new Master Rule being the way it is, I like this card even more. So that's going to be it for the main deck. For the extra deck, I have got 1 Tiger. So when this card is fusion summoned, target cards on the field up to the number of materials that you use to make it, pop them. And on top of that, he gives all the Fright for fusion monsters 300 attack for every Fright for and Fluffal. So pretty good attack bonus on top of a lot of removal. This card's really good. 1 Sheep. It's an Armades when he battles, and once per turn when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can bring him back with an additional 800 attack. That does not stack, unfortunately, but yeah, this guy's not bad. 1 Wolf for the OTKs. He can make 1 attack for every fusion material that you use to make him. So if you have him with Tiger or Sabretooth on the field, his attack gets even bigger, and this can just end games by itself. And I'm playing 1 Kraken. Most people play 2, and for the longest time I was 2. But the extra deck is really tight the way I have it right now. And on top of that, I never really found myself needing a second one. So this guy, once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. And that is a soft once per turn. He can also attack twice, but he cannot attack directly the turn that you use when you use the sending to graveyard effect. At the end of the battle phase, if you haven't killed your opponent by then, he goes to defense mode. But yeah, so what you do, you send something from, problematic card from field to grave. Then you're going to fusion him away for Sabretooth, which I played 2 of. When Sabretooth is fusion summoned, you can special summon a Fright from your graveyard. And then if you had another problematic monster, you could use his effect again. And so Sabretooth, on top of bringing back one of the fusions, he gives all of the Fright Furs a flat 400 boost. So very strong card. And if you use 3 or more materials to make him, he cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So, some decks could still have an issue with that. That part isn't as great as it used to be when it came out. But I mean, you obviously got unicorns, stuff like that, non-targeting banish or, removal, stuff like that. But yeah, still strong. 2 Sabretooth. And we've got some super poly targets, pretty standard. And then one Winda, since I do play Instant Fusion, I play the Predator Plant Link as well. Being able to bring this out with Dingirsu, and getting the Buster Lock is pretty hard for your opponent to overcome. And then I play some links as well. I play one Cross Sheep, one Predator Plant Link, one Union Carrier, and one Herald of Mirage Lights. So this guy, I don't really see anybody playing it. I personally love this card. I think it's great. So when a spell or trap card or effect is activated, you can send one fairy from your hand to the graveyard to negate and destroy that activation. He has a second effect that for this deck doesn't come up, but you can search a ritual, like a combination of like 2 ritual spells or ritual monsters, something like that. But yeah, again, for this deck, that part is not needed. Yeah, I just like him just for just standard negation. When your opponent sees what you're playing, a lot of times they're going to make you go first. So obviously going first now, you want to try to get the Buster Lock, and being able to have this as well, so that, they can't Twin Twister it or they can't Cosmic Cyclone it, because I've noticed some people, at least from the bit of testing I've been doing, they'll play Cosmic Cyclone. So even if I have Dingirsu, this can obviously protect against Twin Twisters, but not against Cyclone. So just certain things it's really nice to be able to negate with this. Yeah, so that is actually going to be it for the extra deck and for the whole profile. So please let me know what you guys think. If you have any suggestions, any questions at all, for those of you who may be interested in playing the deck, I know you can look online pretty much anywhere, and you can find 2-card, 3-card combos, that show you an ending board off of, again, those 2 or 3 cards. But what I don't see very many people doing, or anyone doing at all, is showing you what to do with, let's just be honest, the crappy hand that this deck will occasionally give you. And playing this deck for like 4 years now, this deck will give you some crappy hands. So if anybody's interested, just comment below, and if enough people are interested, I would be more than willing to do a profile, a tutorial where I'm just going to shuffle up and just give myself 5 random cards, and and just kind of see what I can make of it. Kind of tell you my thought process going through it, and just see what we can do with the deck. But yeah, again, that's if you guys are interested. But other than that, please check out our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, obviously, YouTube. Like them, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. So we get more likes, more subs, everything. We're going to be doing some more giveaways. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else. If you guys want to see any specific deck profiles, let us know in the comments. If we can make it happen, we're going to make it happen. Stay safe out there, guys, and until next time, thanks for watching.